Oh boy, man, those rubber duckies, man. Those rubber duckies. This is part 2 of our coverage. If you guys remember, the rubber duckies were seized in that picture. Actually, we're watching a picture taken. This is legit right here. This is Exhibit 1B261, folks. Nerd Report reporting. My name is Lewis. Who got notified today? Did you get notified? Who got notified for this video? Right now, I need to know who got notified in the comments. Let me know what country, city, or state you're watching from in the comments as well. And also let me know if you saw part 1 of this video. All right? People are getting notified? All right. All right. Well, that's a little better. A good way to get notified, too, is by hitting the like button so you're active on this channel and keeping the conversation going, folks. Keeping the conversation going. This is terrifying, folks. Well, one thing I will say, we heard about these rubber duckies, and there's a picture of them right there. And I got to say, these are terrifying rubber duckies. These are not the cute kind. These are not the cute kind of rubber duckies. These are terrifying rubber duckies. It's not the rubber duckies we've come to know and love with the hooker heels. This is the ugliest rubber ducky I've ever seen. Why is it yellow with a green head? This is terrifying. This is a terrifying. You'd still bathe with them? No way. Not these, though. These are terrifying rubber duckies, folks. Right? Am I wrong? And also, is this nitrous oxide? This is laughing gas. This is laughing gas. Right here on the right? Nitrous, I guess this is oxide. Yeah, nitrous oxide right there. This is nitrous oxide. You guys see it? No one was talking about the nitrous oxide. That's new, right? It's laughing gas. So for some weird reason, people are talking more about the oil, but they're skipping the rubber duckies and the nitrous. I don't know if nitrous, well, technically none of this is illegal. Or is the nitrous oxide illegal? Okay, now another thing. Nitrous oxide is very popular in the rave scene, the festival scenes with electronic dance music. They put it in balloons, or they used to put it in balloons and then suck on it, right? Now, I don't want anybody to tell me that the people, especially people who've never gone to an electronic dance music festival, to tell me that everyone over there is full of drugs. They're not. All right? Actually, it's the most peaceful place ever. These are hip-hop people using X and nitrous. So don't tell me that those drugs are exclusive to raves. Get out of here with that. You know? Yeah, no, these rubber duckies are terrifying, to say the least. All right, so they're drilling the witness, man. The psychologist that's testifying, they're drilling the shit out of her. They're giving her the Smeagol treatment, saying, "Look, man, you didn't analyze. You don't know about Cassie Ventura. You didn't brief her. You didn't interview her to come out with these conclusions about her trauma. All right." So that's what they're saying. That's what they said also to Smeagol, if you remember. Smeagol was accused of analyzing Johnny Depp without even talking to him. And that's unethical. So that's what they're telling this lady too. All right, Don Hughes is the Smeagol of this case. Okay, so the I guess the jurors were have left, and they're debating whether or not Don Hughes's testimony is going to be thrown out or not. I don't know. They're trying to say she's biased, but my question is, how do you? Okay, let's say they say okay, testimony thrown out. Like, how exactly do you get the testimony out of people's brains? They already heard it. How does that even make sense? There she is. She's being questioned. What's up, everyone? Interview her. And they're eating lunch and watching. Thank you very much. Who saw the first part of this segment? The first part of the coverage, folks, this morning? Who was watching it? Hit that one. Happy birthday to your dog, Queen. Here we go. Prosecutors and defense lawyers are breaking for a lot of sidebars during Don Hughes's testimony as they argue over the scope of the forensic psychologist testimony. Judge Aram Subramanian has sent the jury out, as it may take a few minutes to straighten things out. A quick correction while we're here. Hughes is not wearing a white suit. It appears to be tan. Okay, we really were worried about that. Once again, Hughes is not wearing a white suit. It is actually tan. Folks, we just wanted to clear that. Leave Gollum out of this. Can we hit the like? Can we get the likes up, folks? Thank you. All right, it's a tan, folks. If you were worried about Don Hughes's what she was wearing, it is a tan suit, not white. All right. Also, another big update. Rubber Duckies has now gone viral. Okay. The Rubber Duckies is now a big thing. We are the only ones that have combined the Rubber Duckies with the red hooker shoes. Hooker heels, all right? We claim exclusivity to that. And also, the ducks were actually the real ducks, they are fucking ugly, man. They are ugly and terrifying. 1 and 10 or white, who cares? Exactly, Lori. I have no idea. But, I'm being sarcastic. The Washington Post wanted to correct that. They really wanted you to know the color of her suit. Are they doing that with the guys, too? I'm going to be a Blake Lively here. Are they? Does it make a difference what these people are wearing? Oh my God, who is this? George Kaplan, a former Sean Combs employee. This guy's going to testify. We'll start testifying soon. According to Cassie Ventura's testimony last week, Capone, whatever, quit after witnessing Combs physically abuse his longtime girlfriend. Okay, this guy quit. This guy allegedly saw Sean Diddy Combs' abusive behavior and said, "I'm out of here, man. I'm out of here." There he is. He looks like he's about to use the restroom. It's okay, Lori. It's hard to tell, when something's being sarcastic. Sometimes people think I'm being serious. Just so you know, I'm almost never serious. What did you miss, Angela? I don't know. What did Angela miss, folks? Let Angela in. She's a supporter of the channel. She supports the channel a lot. She's always here. Folks, I'm going to assign you in the comments to please update Angela with the rubber duckies, everything, man. Angela, were you here at our first portion of our coverage today? This is actually our second portion. When you gotta go, right? He has full, Kathy, he has full immunity, except if he lies. If he lies, they will go after him with the wrath of Darth Vader. Okay? That's how I have it understood. If they find out he lies, well, I think, Angela, the biggest thing that happened, they showed pictures of what they confiscated in the Miami house. And there was a lot of baby oil. You saw the nitrous and 2 rubber duckies, all right? And a lot of heels, a lot of women's shoes. A lot of women's shoes. All right, this guy is testifying right now. We're going to see what he has to say in a bit. He witnessed the abuse, allegedly. He looks terrified. Would you be terrified? Let me know in the comments. They don't want the prosecution doesn't want Dr. Hughes' testimony. She is talking like she knows Cassie, like she evaluated her personally. And isn't that why people were upset at Smeagol over there at the? He pleaded the 5th, so he can't talk. Did he plead the 5th now? But isn't he? This guy is it Kaplan? I don't know what his name is. Did he go on the stand and plead the 5th, or is he testifying? I don't get it. Oh yeah, he's getting immunity for testimony. I think everyone is, right? Because people are kind of, people are admitting they're incriminating themselves with the testimony, but it's a double-edged sword. They can't make the case against Diddy unless they incriminate themselves, from what I understand. Oh, okay. He pled the 5th. Kathy, thanks for that. He pled the 5th, then was offered full immunity, unless he bullshits. Oh, Hawaii in the house. Dusty, did you get notified? This guy's going to take the stand. Hey, thank you, Elizabeth. Some people you can listen and watch. While you prepare tea, nice. We got 50 people in the house. Let's get those likes up. We are updating the Sean Diddy Combs case as things roll in. Yeah, rubber. Am I wrong here, folks? Did I miss anything? Rubber duckies, baby oil, high heels, nitrous oxide. You can't make this shit up. No, you can't. Gwendolyn, hello. Karen got notified, but I stayed on since it was earlier as well. So my question is, who did not watch our previous video this morning? And because they didn't get notified, but are now watching because they got notified. That's the question. Immunity means you don't get punished. As in Lethal Weapon 2, diplomatic immunity can't even get a parking ticket if he runs a red light. Although, in the end, a bad guy got revoked. I don't remember that. What Lethal Weapon? Lori, thanks for being doing this, Lewis. Thank you. 9 months, Lori. Thanks for being a member. Yeah, support the channel, folks. Become a member. Send in a super chat. Thank you very much for that. This is the only video you got notified for. Interesting. There you go. Lori has renewed her membership. Thank you. Welcome, Lori. Welcome back. Oh, no, you gifted a membership. All right. You gifted a membership. There you go. Thank you. Let's get folks, let's get a membership train going on. Let's can we get 10 memberships? We're 9 away, folks. Let's go for our first goal. 10 memberships. Help Nerd Report stay alive. We're dying here. Yeah, hit up those emojis. All right, let's see if there's anything new. Nothing yet. Just George Kaplan looking constipated. They're still, they're still on Hughes, man. I told you she's gonna bring the entire thing to a halt. It's a necessary thing, but not that, how would I say, not that interesting. Yeah, YouTube has completely blocked my videos, man. This should be getting like 1,000 views, not 30 or whatever. Hey, what's up, Jennifer? Hit those emojis. What's up, Tyranna? All right, what do you think of today's testimony? I don't think Kid Cudi's not going to be in there. He's not going to come in today. Or maybe they'll be at the very end. There's an hour left. There's an hour left of jury time, of trial court time. You didn't get notified in the first one? All right. So far, major revelations in the case. Cassie Ventura's testimony. Regina Ventura's account, the $20,000 she had to pay. Allegedly extorting, hey, I'm not going to show the explicit videos. Blackmailing Cassie. The Punisher's testimony. Went to almost a dozen freak-offs. Photographic evidence of Cassie Ventura's black eye and facial bruising was shown to the courts. Federal agents' testimony over the raid in the Miami mansion. Are they going to have a separate testimony for LA though? Okay, so Kid Cudi is going to testify tomorrow. You know what that means? I have to wake up again tomorrow early. Are you guys going to be here? Is everyone going to be here? I don't give a shit if YouTube is hiding my stuff. I need you all to promise me you will be here tomorrow morning. All right, I'm trying to give you all. Okay, look, Wendy's going to be here. All right, let's see if there's any updates. Nope. I mean, you read this already. Yeah, you guys could be listening from work. Yeah, coffee coverage. That'd be great. There's still more updates. Look at YouTube, like totally taking away the views from here, man. 29 people watching, 27 people. It's going better. It's going lower, sorry. 6 a.m. Yeah, listening is cool. I'm going to be, you know what? I'm going to broadcast on Rumble at the same time, man. I can't take these people. Let's do Rumble at the same time. I can't be loyal to YouTube, man. They're just... Yeah, the numbers don't... Do you all think they're blocking this channel? Because look, and it's mine only because everyone has like 2,000 people watching for covering this. The numbers don't lie. Wendy's on my side. Numbers don't lie. Not usual for me at all. You guys think they're blocking me? Why? What did I do different? The small hats? What is that? Yeah, so many. Sandoval, am I sucking in my coverage or something? How could I improve my coverage? Hey, this is a community here, man. If you guys have any creative input without putting me down too bad, like constructive criticism as we wait for updates. I mean, I'm reading all the shit as it comes, and also sometimes even before everyone else. Yeah, Elizabeth, thank you. If there's any way I can improve the coverage, maybe people just, Thank you, Wendy. Me and Popcorn are my go-to. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think he should have way more views than what he gets. He gets good views, but I think Popcorn Planet should have like way more views, honestly. With the coverage, he does it so well. Yeah, if you guys have any idea how I could improve the coverage, I mean, I got great titles, good thumbnails. I'm bringing in the stuff before everybody. Okay, so Wendy says, I think it's the opposite. Your content is on point and diversified. Harder to do that with much larger audience, larger numbers. Sorry. Yeah, maybe. Look, I get notified. I'm sorry for the people who don't. Yeah, I mean, that's just, this platform is blocking my shit. 40 people watching, man. 75,000 subs. I refuse to think that's normal. Maybe you should wear a wig. Should I wear a wig? Someone's making popcorn? No. It's the fan. It's hot. All right. Let me know if you hear it anymore. YouTube can't handle the truth. Yeah, they go after the smaller channels, I guess. I don't get notified. Yeah, you see 49 people watching, but that's nothing. And they demonetized my other videos where I was covering this. They're literally demonetized, meaning they don't share it to and you thought you were receiving all notifications, but last week you didn't receive any. Now, look, just so you know, a lot of people, I go, do you receive notifications? And they say, yeah, I get notified for everything. And then when they look, they don't. They notify you once in a while, right? Do they give me a reason? I don't know. They say it's limited, but I'm kind of sick of it. Even like we should be having like at least 100 people watching, easy. Like, 50 people? Are you kidding me? You know what I mean? Head over to Rumble, man. I don't know. What's the update? Don Hughes. Who else is sick of Don Hughes? Does anybody raise their hand? Who doesn't give a shit about Don Hughes? I don't know why. I should be in the thousands. Thank you very much. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I do work my fucking ass off. That may be a point, Elizabeth, but I think I should at least be able to pull 100. Too many channels on at the same time. You're probably right. You're probably right. That does make a difference. Okay, Dawn Hughes is testifying. She was in the Johnny Depp trial. She's talking about basically Stockholm syndrome, or how like abusers affect victims, and victims become, dependent on their abusers, and they're scared of them. Kind of like people are afraid of leaving a cult, because you could just leave a cult. Technically, you could just walk out and leave, but your brain won't let you. And it's kind of like abusers, right? And that's what she's trying to say here. But the defense is trying to throw out her testimony. You may recognize her from the Johnny Depp trial. Dawn Hughes can be asked about a presentation she gave in 2015 advising advocates for battered women on how to give expert testimony. But the document from the event won't be introduced as evidence. Her content is that's a fair it is that's that is actually the best, Wendy. That is the best way to explain it. Very well explained and very simple. Dr. Hughes's content is important to educate the people why Cassie may have been acting that way, where she just didn't leave. But it's boring. Especially, we've gone over this as a channel for a lot, so we kind of know. We're not. Yeah, the lady we showed the video of earlier. I'm competing with the Karen Reed trial. That would be affecting your numbers. Yeah, but okay. Karen Reed trial is peanuts compared to this. But maybe, Jalissa. I don't think Karen, I couldn't even, look, man. If Karen Reed was standing right next to me, I couldn't pick her out. I don't know anything about that case. I know P. Diddy. I think for hardcore true crime people, the Karen Reed thing is big, but not mainstream. You think Karen Reed and Lori, you think Karen Reed and Diddy are neck and neck? No. No way. Yeah, P. Diddy's way bigger. If there was a lineup, no, they're not neck and neck as far as public interest is concerned. The other, Karen Reed may be a more interesting. I don't know the case, right? Trump has a new airplane. Yeah, it does depend on what people want to see. Like, I gotta be honest with you. If the Brian Koberger trial was on right now, and the P. Diddy thing was on now, like at the same time, I'd watch the Brian Koberger stuff more. No black people watching the Karen Reed. Yeah, maybe. All right. Okay, today, meaning Wednesday, Hughes testified. She clarified that 60% of her income comes from court testimony, and said she never regularly published psychology papers as. And then she says she doesn't. She testified she doesn't evaluate offenders. I don't know. The Karen retrial is like a melodrama, very entertaining. Yeah, I mean, if you're hooked with it, I would say maybe. Here, people just want to hear, oh, did Justin Bieber, is he in there? Is fucking, is Blake Lively involved? I mean, she was mentioned. They want to hear that. That's what they want to hear, and they're not going to get it. As of right now, I don't think they're going to get it. Yeah, the Brian Koberger trial, Tirana, that's going to be big, man. I mean, for me, it's like, what the hell? This is like a true life Michael Myers. Yeah, the P. Diddy trial will be bringing more mainstream names. Right now, the trial's all about Don Hughes. They're trying to see if there's a conflict of interest with her. I don't really. Like I said earlier, her testimony has brought the entire thing to like a standstill. Well, I don't know. People do love their celebrities. I think people want to see celebrities brought down. I don't think all celebrities are bad, though. The amount of corruption in the Karen Reed trial is intriguing, interesting. I'll have the Brian Koberger trial here. We remember Jules and I were doing that. We were big on that. Hopefully she'll be back. Okay, she is a hired consultant. This is via Wendy Moreno. Okay, she's a hired consultant. This is Dawn Hughes, a hired consultant, medical professional. She doesn't know the clients yet. Gives professional opinions from case study and her experience with others. Yeah, she looks like she's on Cassie's side, and that's what the defense doesn't want. Okay. Do you all think Diddy's going to testify? Man, imagine if Diddy testified and this thing would have been on. If this thing would have been videotaped and Diddy testified, how big would that have been? 1 second, folks. Will Diddy testify? Let me know in the comments. What if he's going down and that's his only chance? What if that's his only chance? It was what? No, what can he actually say that will help him in this case? It wasn't me. It wasn't him. It wasn't me. Does Diddy have a big ego? If he does, then he'll probably testify. All right, here we go again. And oh my God, why? Don Hughes, man. Don Hughes. We are in the middle of another long lawyer debate about Don Hughes's cross-examination. When the court is having these sidebars, a white noise machine blasts to keep those in the room from overhearing them. The jury has heard a lot of white noise on Wednesday. They're having sidebars over and over again. Don Hughes, bye. We get it. You're not there to move the needle anywhere. So they're pushing out white noise as there's a sidebar, which I guess is when they stop the court and then they have a discussion why Don Hughes's shit shouldn't be cross-examined or how it should be. It wasn't me. There's been more sidebars than testimony, Marsha. You are right. Sidebar Wednesday. That's what we need to call it. Gia says, I would like to hear Diddy testify, but not sure he will. Most lawyers I have watched advise against that, while others say he will have to. I think he may. He may. Subscribe to Nerd Report, man. I'll have that. Then who stole the cookie? What are you talking? Jalissa, where are you at? Who stole the cookie from the cookie jar? Can he stop and plead guilty? Could he change his mind? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I should invite lawyers on here. Yeah, no, this is Marsha, this is all sidebar Wednesday, man. Should have taken the plea deal when you had a chance. Does it look that bad for him? There are people that are supporting him though. The judge, I heard, said if the witnesses were not moving along, he would shut down early. Yeah, I wish this would have been televised. Jalissa says, sorry, just being silly. Don't you know the song? Which song? It wasn't me, that one? I don't. Jalissa, I woke up at 5. Okay, so right now there's a debate going on about Don Hughes's cross-examination. This is the lady, she's a psychologist, okay? So we are in the middle of a long debate about Don Hughes's cross-examination. This is a Washington Post editor. Well, as we wait there, we got Diddy's kids. Don't forget, Marsha, thanks for dropping the facts here. Don't forget, one of Diddy's sons has his own lawsuit to contend with. Like father, like son. Man, yeah, it's awful. Shelly, what's happening? Somebody update Shelly. Don Hughes, man, no one wants her. The prosecution doesn't want her testifying, and they're on a sidebar. So basically, nothing is happening. Sean Diddy Combs' kid reappear in court to support his father's. It's the support of the father. Never wavers. Okay. Justin Combs and Christian Combs were spotted outside the Manhattan courthouse as the jury heard from witnesses. The jury in Diddy's trafficking trial heard from former HSI agent earlier Wednesday. Ganon testified about the weapons and DRUGS seized from the disgraced music mogul's home back in March 2025. That's where we also saw nitrous oxide and rubber duckies. That's why you're seeing the rubber ducky and high heels as well. That's where you're seeing that in the thumbnail. Psychologist on the stand in Diddy's trial has never testified in defense men accused of S crimes? What? The clinical psychologist testifying in Sean Diddy Combs' trial confirms she never taken the stand in defense of a man accused of S crimes. That's correct. Dr. Hughes told Diddy's attorney Batch on Wednesday when questioned during the cross-examination. What does that have to do with anything? I'm confused. Hughes previously testified against R. Kelly in 2021. She also took the stand in the NXIVM S cult leader case and testified against them. In 2022, Hughes testified against. She was against Johnny Depp and the case against actress Amber Heard. So Hughes was against Johnny Depp? I thought she was like a neutral person, like talking about how Stockholm syndrome and victims cannot escape their abuser. So she actually testified against. She testified against Johnny Depp? This year, she will also take the stand against Harvey Weinstein's retrial, where she will testify against the former film producer. So I guess they're trying to say that she doesn't like men. Amor, how you doing? I had to work at a music festival, but I was on live last night, for a long time. I was live yesterday, I was live this morning for a long time, and I'm live right now. Did everyone get notified? YouTube is blocking my videos. They're trying to show bias. Yeah, I thought she was. Is she for JD or not? This is worded claiming she's against. She was against Johnny Depp. If she was, then this finger could go over there because she's making my video boring. And if she's against Johnny Depp, get out of here, dude. Maybe it's good that the trial has not been televised because some of the stuff is triggering. It is. Yeah, no one's getting notified. No one's getting notified. Wendy, thanks for the knowledge. She was hired by the defense for Amber Heard. Money talks. Depends what side is hiring you. Smeagol also was hired by the defense, from what I understand. Here's a picture of the weapons and possible narcotics. Oh, great news, folks. Are you ready? Defense attorney Batch's cross-examination of Don Hughes is over. The questioning was interrupted multiple times with lengthy sidebar discussions between the prosecutor and government. Batch also has a slow and somewhat meandering Candace, what does that mean? When asking questions. And there would at times be lengthy pauses as he got up to his next inquiry. This guy talks like this, I guess. I'm done with this lady. Heather Whatever's in the house. What's up? Who's done with this lady? Who's done with Don Hughes? By Don Hughes. She's killing me. By Don. Yeah, Wendy also. Oh, you know what, Wendy? You did bring up a good point. She's necessary, but oh my God, what is it, like 2 hours of her? Yeah, the next guy that's up, I'll tell you exactly who it is. It's this guy right here. His former employee who had invoked the Fifth Amendment, but now has immunity. And so he can't get busted for anything. But allegedly he quit helping Diddy after he saw the abuse. So we'll see. It looks like the defense was keeping her on the stand. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Witness number 3, I don't think is testifying. We'll see. Let's see. Witness number 3. Let's research them. Let's see if we can find out. Okay, as of May 21st, 2025, witness number 3 in the Sean P. Diddy Combs trial has not been located and remains missing. This is according to The Guardian. Prosecutors have lost communications with this key witness, identified as victim 3, and her current whereabouts are unknown. Reports suggest that she may have had a second thoughts about testifying in such a high-profile case. Additionally, a former bodyguard of Combs known as Big Homie CC has claimed that this witness went missing before the trial commenced. Okay. That was via a YouTube interview. The absence of the witness poses a significant challenge for the prosecution, potentially weakening their case on courts directly related to the testimony. However, prosecutors continue to present evidence and testimony from other witnesses, including Cassie Ventura, her mom Regina Ventura, former assistant David James, and rapper Kid Cudi, who is expected to testify this week. The trial is ongoing in Manhattan Federal Court, blah, 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 and should be going on for several more weeks. Okay, she's still MIA. She is still MIA. Witness number 3, referred to as victim 3 in the federal trafficking and racketeering trial against Combs, is one of the alleged victims named in the indictment. Her identity has not been publicly disclosed, but prosecutors have described her as a former girlfriend of Combs. She was expected to testify about alleged exploitation and coercion by Combs over the extended period of time. Notably, she had reportedly agreed to testify under her real name. I don't know, they're saying she was one of Combs' girlfriends. I'm trying, Amor. I'm trying. Hey, does my coverage suck, folks? I'm like the person with the least views here. YouTube is fucking oppressing my videos. I don't know. That's why I'm asking you guys. How do I improve? I'm giving you all a voice. You all come here. I see the same people here. That means you guys like what I'm doing. Could it be J-Lo? J-Lo. Thank you, Amor. I think I'm trying to do good coverage here. They say if you have good coverage, the people will come, except if you're on YouTube, they will oppress your views. I don't get it. Thank you, Elizabeth. We have 19 minutes before it's supposed to close. They've been closing at 3 o'clock this week. All right. Yeah, thanks, Ann and Gia. I'm trying to include everyone. I'm new here, but I enjoy the vibe, so I'll be back again. Make sure, I actually enjoy your input a lot. Marsha, make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell. It's all about Dr. Hughes today and sidebarring and the rubber duckies. You subscribed yesterday? Is there a possibility J-Lo testifies? Let's see if there's an update. Yeah, everyone welcome Marsha in. So you think it could be a toss-up between Gina and Jenny? Okay, do you mean, is there a Jenny girlfriend he had? Or Jennifer Lopez? He's never been married. Has Puff Daddy ever been married? So according to here, no, Sean Diddy Combs has never been legally married despite several long-term relationships, including Kim Porter, Cassie Ventura. He's fathered a lot of kids with Justin Combs. I mean, well, no, that's his kid. Christian Combs, Chance Combs, love Sean Combs. All right. Who has, like, everyone wants to know, okay? Kim Porter, 1994 to 2007, off and on. Cassie Ventura, 2007 to 2018. Jennifer Lopez, 1999 to 2001. That didn't last anything. Sarah Kaplan, early 2000s. Misa Holton. Where are the other people? Okay, here are the rumors. Short-term relationships. Lori Harvey. Daughter of Steve Harvey? Lori Harvey, daughter of Steve Harvey. Is this the same guy? Oh, okay. Young Miami, Naomi Campbell, Cameron Diaz. Yeah, I don't see that name. Yeah, she was against Johnny Depp. Well, that Lori Harvey was a rumor. Some of those I read off are rumors. I mean, this is just a quick internet search. It's not, I don't know. Like I said, everything I say here is you got to do your own research. I don't know how accurate. I don't think, man, nowadays with AI and everything, I don't know what the hell's accurate or not. So that's my disclaimer. Steve Harvey wanted his daughter today. Jay-Z, I guess she ended with P. Diddy instead. Steve Harvey wanted his daughter to go out with Jay-Z, allegedly. Why? So my guess is this is gonna 10 more minutes. All right, let's check this out. Here's the images of the pews in shoe boxes. And then they're like, why did you guys show up with armored vehicles? Why did the SWAT team show up with armored vehicles? I can't believe the SWAT team showed up with armored vehicles. The guys armed to the T with pews. They knew that before. So what are they supposed to do? Send in Mary Poppins? The guy's armed. They don't know what to expect in there. Send in Mary Poppins. Psychologist on the stand in Diddy's trial has never testified in defense of a man accused of S crimes. Yeah, Diddy's defense is upset because the SWAT team came in hot. Yet look at all the weapons that were there. How are they supposed to come in? We're gonna be hi. We gotta raid and confiscate Puff Daddy's home. He may have this, that, and the other, like a small army. What kind of equipment could you lend me? Yeah, we could equip you with Bambi. Bambi could go as your backup. Yeah, call in Bambi for reinforcement. What do they want? Of course they're going to have battering rams and heavy artillery vehicles. Yeah, look, thank you, Ann, for bringing that up. Nerd Report has been telling us these people are scum of the earth. Why would anyone want them to date their daughters? Yeah. And honestly, someone in the entertainment industry should know how someone else in the entertainment industry is. So for Steve Harvey, I don't know. Maybe Jay-Z is the best guy ever. I don't know. Steve Harvey would be a dad I would not contact. Steve Harvey would be the dad I'd go no contact after his dating advice. Yeah, they wanted, the defense is upset because they went in and they were mean during the raids on Diddy's mansions. They were mean. And then look at all these things that were confiscated. It's wild. The entire thing is wild. All right, folks, if you're wondering why my channel only has 30 people watching right now, it's because they're blocking my channel, okay? I don't know what the hell. I don't know what's going on. I'm giving you detailed coverage, pretty good thumbnails, pretty good titles for a while on this. My other videos have been demonetized. What could I say? What could I do? People say, don't complain. I'm going to complain. I'm going to complain out loud. I'm going to rant. I mean, I have a rubber ducky and the thumbnail, man. This should be packed here. That's right. Go to Rumble, folks. If you have a rubber ducky with high heels on your thumbnail, you should be I should be with 1 million people here, without a doubt. The rubber duckies is the most. That's what people are going to be talking about today, after trial. All right, let's see where we're at right now. All right, let's see what Inner City Press is up to. Oh, wait. George Kaplan. Did I get his name right? Let me know if I got it wrong. George Kaplan was called into the stand, though it is unclear how much testimony we'll get from him before the day ends, which is, it's over. He was sworn in 20 minutes ago, before 3 o'clock, when the judge has been dismissing the jury this week. Okay, so yeah, the judge has been dismissing the jury at 3 o'clock. I know they're usually open till 5. Maybe they'll go longer. Kaplan is a former assistant of Sean Combs who quit after seeing Combs physically abuse Cassie Ventura, according to Ventura's earlier testimony. The judge was granted Capone's immunity for his testimony, and it is not clear exactly what he will speak about. But we know Combs' lawyer wants to ask him about the conversations he had with Ventura, in which he allegedly advised her on where she could find MJ. Mara, you know what? Why would Combs why would the defense, Combs' lawyers, want to talk to him about a discussion he had with her about where to find MJ? And I'm not talking about Michael Jackson. Why is that relevant, folks? What do you think? Help me out here. Why is that relevant? Not Mary J. Watson either. Trying to make her look bad? I don't know. I'm stumped also. That's weird. Okay, so he was sworn in 20 minutes before 3. He probably will not get to testify much, if any. Gia says, and by the way, coercion can be pronounced both ways. Coercion and coercion. I've always used coercion. I researched it. Okay, so coercion. Did I say it right? Did I win? Did I win the cookie? Gia for cookies. Thank you so much, folks. Thanks, folks. If you want to support the channel, you could do so via Super Chat, Cash App, Super Sticker, Hearts for Gia. Oh, I think I got some more support. Lori, thank you for being a member. Lori, thanks for gifting a membership. And Gia, thanks for the super chat. Hearts for all of you. All right, all right, there's been some questions to Capone. How did he travel on his? How did you travel? Wait, let's see what's older here. All right, question: how did you travel on his jet, or going in advance to make sure it's all set up? How did you set up the hotel rooms? There was a bag, unpacking it, clothes, candles, baby oil. Oh boy, this is bad for Combs, folks. This guy's setting up the freak offs, man. This is bad for Combs. This guy could really. This guy is the the Rico guy, I think, in my opinion. Who bought this? Often me. By the way, Elizabeth, thank you. Cookie donations right now, man. Send in those cookie donations. In what city did you set up the hotel rooms? Okay, now listen. Are these the setup for the freak offs? In what city did you set up the hotel rooms? It sounds like it's the freak offs. It sounds like it. This guy's setting up the freak offs. What cities did you set up the freak offs? L.A., New York, Miami. In L.A., the Intercontinental. In New York, question mark. Yeah, Trump by Columbus Circle in Miami, SLS. Now, these are hotels. Trump wasn't there, folks. Sorry to tell you. How were they booked? Frank Black based on baggy Frank White? This is where they could get caught with transferring S workers. From state to state. This testimony is probably a real. This testimony is going to be damning. Would you clean up the rooms? This guy cleaned up the room. Yes, bottles of baby oil, Gatorade. One brown crystallized powder on the counter of a bathroom sink. What is that? Why did you clean it up? Why did you clean it up and not the hotel? It was implied protect the public image. I kept on doing that. Explain. Affolino objects. Overruled by the judge. I found hotels would sell photos to newspapers to shame guests. Question. Did he reach out to you from the room for food, clothing, sometimes drugs? I did it. What drugs? DOPP kits. Testimony's going. This one's bad for Diddy. Yeah, it's going. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Shelly. Greatest coverage. I know, look, man, Shelly, love you. I know it's not the best coverage, but it's not the best coverage out there, but it's good. And I think this platform is blocking my channel. I really do. I think I know that I deserve a few more, a few more out there. If you say it's the best coverage, I'm not going to argue with you. I don't believe you, but I really appreciate the donation. Thank you, Shelly. Vote Shelly. Let's do that right now. F everything else, man. Where we at? Yeah, hold on a second. We're gonna continue with this. Who called? Suspected spam. Folks, stay on. We're going to be getting an update right now. All right, let's see what the update is. All right, let's see. Okay, alleged drugs question. Affolino, I object to the terms illegal. What other drugs? Advil, ketamine. What did he ask for? I picked up drugs for him. MDMAs. I think that's X, right? Who asked? Mr. Combs in LA and Miami. Kaplan, in Miami, Mr. Combs asked me to call a person. He came and gave me a bag of pills, MDMAs. I gave him cash. I have the pills. I gave the pills to Mr. Combs. And in LA, I went out and met a person in Hollywood. I gave money. He gave me a bag. Oh my God. These people are hooked up. It wasn't Obama. As far as I know, it was Obama-shaped tablets, which is like the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Yeah, I'm dropping a link to vote for Shelly. Hit that link, vote for Shelly for free. We're gonna talk about that in a bit. She's in second place. Kaplan. I want to say Capone. Am I pronouncing it correctly? In Miami, Mr. Combs asked me to call a person. He came and gave me a bag of pills. Okay, we already read that. So Hollywood was the place, man. Hollywood was the place. Waiting for more updates. Meanwhile, All right, meanwhile, we got Shelly. Shelly right here. Shelly, I want to hear the story of her tattoos. Need to vote. Vote for free right here. You go, oh, you get a double time in the vote right now. Folks, do me a favor. Vote for Shelly. I'm dropping the link in the comments. She's in second place. Shelly is in second place. Let's get her to... It's free. You can do free. Let's get Shelly to first place right now as we speak. Vote, then come back. Let me know if you guys voted. She should have won already, but... I think Shelly should have won already. Heather, thank you for that. Hearts for you. I can't do the other way on your link tree. My phone is screwing and can't get the new one. That's all right. Thank you so much for the support, Heather, whatever. Heather, whatever. Hearts for you. Hearts for you, Heather, whatever. All right. What the judge says, they're breaking for the day. Who are they getting here? All right, they've breaking for the day. That is a wrap for them. For a Wednesday. Hearts for you, Heather, whatever. It is a wrap. What I really need is a good car chase. Let's get a little bit more of a detailed update on Kaplan, George Kaplan's testimony. During the hotel stays, George Kaplan would bring food, clothes, and drugs that his boss Combs asked for. Kaplan testified. He mentioned a bag with tons of different medications, including Advil, Tylenol, Bertrin, ketamine. God dang, this guy was a walking pharmacy. I'm sure there were other kinds, Kaplan said, but added he didn't go to the prescribed items. Kaplan also said he picked up MDMAs for Combs. Combs' hotel rooms were booked under the alias Frank Black. Kaplan said, which was a play on the late rapper Notorious B.I.G.'s nickname, Frank White. Kaplan told the jury, "My understanding was that he would give guests a female partner in these rooms." The judge has excused the jury for the day after prosecutors said they would need another half hour to wrap up questioning of George Kaplan. Kaplan will continue testifying Thursday. Kid Cudi, whose legal name is Scott Biscuddy, is also expected to be called. As is typical, the lawyers and judge have remained in the courtroom for some end of the day discussion. All right. So tomorrow, Kid Cudi. I think tomorrow's going to be a big deal. I think Kaplan, I think this guy has some receipts, man. This guy has some receipts. All right, I don't know what else to go by here. Let's see if there's any reaction. Yeah, that's about it. What do you guys think of today's hearing? What do you guys think? I think, the psychologist brought it to a halt, man. Psychologist really brought the momentum to a halt. Too many sidebars. Sidebar mania today. Hashtag hooker heels. Hooker heels is the word of the day. Hooker heels is the hashtag today. Everybody with the hooker heels. All right, let's bring it up to you all to discuss. What do you guys think? If you have any questions, let's give it a minute to you all. Hashtag hooker heels. That's right, hooker heels. Rubber ducky is too common. We got hooker heels though. That's crazy. Heather says YouTube has grown a lot. They need to reward good channels like Nerd Report. Actually, growing is why they don't need us anymore. The small channels that got them where they're at, they forget. They always forget, man. People always forget. And a corporation like that's going to be worse. You know? Hooker heels. Thank you, Wendy. So how many? How do you fix this? How does one fix? How does one fix what? Amor? The hooker heels? Or the notifications? I don't know. I keep going, and I don't know. And then tell people about Rumble, and it is what it is. My algorithm. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Is the title good? Folks, you guys assess, man. This is your channel. Is my updates, are they bad? That's the only thing I could think. Is my video bad? Is it because I'm not a white woman? That could be it. I don't like to say that, but it seems like that's, is it because I'm a dude? I don't know. I hate I'm just putting it out there. I'm putting it out there, and I'm not that dude. I'm not that dude. I'm not that dude to do it, but if you see something a lot, maybe I need a blonde wig. I don't know. Thumbnail's good. I don't fit the. Maybe a hot host. High-speed rubber ducky chases. I don't know. There's no way. I don't know how to fix it. Hot host? What do you mean? What do you mean? A more hot host? Like, I think you understood. What do you mean? A more? I don't know what you mean. I'm not gonna. I can't afford a host. It might be the preference of the show format. Yeah, is it the format? Is it weird? Or maybe I need a hot co-host. Nah, I can't sell out like that. But I know it's a joke, but. Yeah, I mean, the format, I think it's, I mean, I don't, it's not that different than. You know what I mean? I don't think the format's that different than, drastically different. I don't think the format's drastically different from what we're used to, you know what I mean? I mean, I could sit here and pretend. I mean, I could do a format where I pretend. I could pretend that Justin Baldoni's the greatest, and he's coherent, and he's a good actor, and I could ignore his extremely long neck. Love when Jules was on. You guys complimented each other. Very dynamic and fun. I know, but she's dealing with things right now, Denny. I get you. We all miss her. Need an interview with a vampire. I have had good interviews here. Yeah, I think she's getting better, but that's her story to say, Denny. I don't know. All right, let's see if any other updates here came in. No, jury has been excused. I'm going to make a tool for you to find out what happened internally with your algorithm. It'll take me a few weeks to make it though. Well, they say content, but this is the content right now. I got great thumbnails. You know? Car chases. Who do you miss, Shelly? You miss Jules? My content's too unique. I don't think my content's that unique. Is it really that unique? Not really. Not really. What else is going on, folks? Ask me anything segment. Maybe because you all do car chases and sign petitions for Baldoni and then do protests and aliens. Maybe it's all over the place. My mom's doing well, thank you. As long as you are dropping, Marsha says, as long as I'm dropping content nearly every day, you should get that push. It doesn't work that way. YouTube's YouTube's the only place on the internet it punishes you for posting. I was on TikTok this week posting on my channel, one of my variant channels, and it was for the music festival I was at, and it was blowing up, and I was posting it. The more I blow up, the more I post. I had people coming up to me saying, "Hey man, I saw you post on TikTok. What's up?" I had girls, guys, all ages coming up to me saying, and I just started TikTok. YouTube's the only format that if I post a video, I lose subs if it's videos they don't like. You think it's consistency? Was I able to find out anything more about the Peruvian aliens? No, not really. Yeah, and also, like you said earlier, and I was the one, I worked in radio. I knew the music industry was worse than the movie industry. And we're finding that out right now. I said that for years. Yeah, everything gets copywritten. What's up, Blockbuster? Yeah, we've been, we're almost at 2 hours here, but 3 hours on our previous. We've been on 5 hours. I don't think I'm going to do 5 hours tomorrow unless a million people show up for the first video. I just can't, you know, YouTube's not sharing out the content, then hold on a second. Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. We gotta chase! We gotta chase! Let's go! We gotta chase!
Fact is, they'll be able to onto them and negotiate with them.
We gotta chase!
Pull over
Let's
go!
go!
Bruce, what kind of tools do law enforcement have to try to
lose is pit maneuvers.
Pit maneuvers on a bike.
Are now out of play because the motorcyclist is just driving at such a high speed.
Damn, this thing is. This guy's
really
gonna
do
f himself up,
sit
man.
Back and monitor slows down and is not driving like we've seen from Air 780.
Let's go with the chase, folks.
The roads,
hit those likes
and weaving in and out of traffic.
And Bruce, one thing to point out here is that it's hard to tell, but he has not come to a stop at any intersection. So I got to assume that he's been.
This guy's gonna eat it,
red
man.
Lights.
There's no way.
Like this would be another, and he may make a right there on Allen.
Holy
Very familiar
shit!
with this area. This is going to come down to going to pass Las Lunas and then Villa Street and right back towards the 210 freeway. Here
Should I stay on with this chase,
east
folks, or
side
end
of
it?
Pasadena.
You tell me.
But he seems to be just blowing through every single intersection that he comes to right here. And this is, I think, going to be Villa Street.
Yeah, East Villa Street, Mark. And again, I'm sort of wondering, Bruce, you can answer the question. What would be a better location for this pursuit suspect?
Yeah, Jennifer
City
says stay
streets
on. Vote,
or the
stay
freeway?
on. Let's
We
go,
know the 210
folks.
freeway. That's a pretty wide open freeway. That's one of those freeways that it rarely gets
I hope the guy
jammed
doesn't
up.
hurt himself or anyone else.
You
but
know, the freeway is obviously easier because you don't have the intersections, the blind driveways where people may pull out. You can kind of see what's in front of you and where you're going. Obviously, the speeds are a little higher on the freeway, but on surface streets,
This is near
Oh,
still
you?
inherently dangerous. And as a
Punch
watch
and
commander,
John.
I can guarantee that they've canceled the pursuit, and now they're just saying, you know what, we're going to monitor via helicopter. We'll put
Has
it
the
out
guy
as much as
talking,
we can,
has he had a
but
few?
I don't want units involved in this.
Yeah, this is really concerning. Knowing that it's on those surface streets, this is going to be coming up to Altadena Drive. This is going to be his next intersection here on Villa Street. He just passed a fire station on his right, and then this is the corner of Altadena Drive. This would take him right back to the 210 freeway. We'll have to see if he stays on surface streets or gets right back on
Yeah, again,
on
well,
surface streets. So this is going to take him a little bit further south of the freeway now.
Yeah, actually, Mark, I was saying before that it does seem like the 210 usually is pretty clear, but it has some traffic on it right now. Again, we're seeing this driver on North Altadena Drive. Bruce, if the watch commander decides that this pursuit is just too dangerous to continue and they call off the pursuit, why does it seem like this motorcyclist is still driving at erratic speeds and fashion?
You know, it's an interesting question because having talked
This
to
guy, I can't with this
suspects
guy,
that I've
man.
chased or been involved in as the watch commander, they just feel that they're trying to get away from what at that time? It was something in their mind that said, hey, I'm being chased. But you're not being chased anymore, so it's just the freedom and wanting of the freedom, I guess.
Yeah, and again, we see this suspect just kind of winding through this area, but now I'm going to see him in when you
This
see
guy's gonna
big,
eat it,
large
man.
intersections, you sort of hold your breath a little bit. But again, this area you have a lot of freedom on these roads. There's not a lot of congestion right now.
And now back eastbound on Colorado. So essentially from when we first came on air, he's kind of made a big loop. If he stays in this direction, he would go right back, roughly, 3 to 4 miles away, but back to where he was essentially when we came on air here with this breaking coverage. Again, we are dipping in here to ABC7 and streaming live with this motorcycle pursuit that started, at least when we caught on to it, that was in like the La Crescenta area and now right in the heart of Pasadena. And Colleen, if he continues straight here, it's going to go right into Old Town Pasadena. Lots of shoppers. You were mentioning that it looks pretty
Old
quiet
Town
right now.
Pasadena.
Anytime
I know where
that
that's
you
at.
go into Old Town Pasadena,
A lot of
you're gonna
traffic.
have more cars, more people walking around. They have those intersections that are like the four-way cross.
Right.
So that is super concerning. Would
Plus,
have come up.
Oh, that
lunchtime
guy's
as well.
after
We
him.
know
Exactly.
that some cities do a really great job with lunches, and Pasadena is one of those cities, and it gets very busy over the lunchtime hour. And again, people are not necessarily knowing that there is a pursuit taking place because you do not see any law enforcement walking. You see somebody walking in front, but again, you see this person now, they're stopping. So it almost looks like they're now trying to follow the rules of the road. Bruce, again, this person is still taking some risks.
Oh, yeah, definitely they are. And a question people might ask is, well, why not have some motorcycle officers chase him that they can weave in and out of traffic? Well, having a motor officer in a pursuit is just so inherently dangerous for that motorcycle officer that most times
look at
they're
this
not
guy.
even allowed to be in the pursuit.
Yeah, I would. It seems like I would agree too, Mark.
Right here, just passing Pasadena City College on the lower side of your screen. So he's passing a lot of landmarks that people are going to be familiar with here in Pasadena. Of course, you say Colorado Boulevard, there's nothing more central than that.
Go outside and
from
film
what
him
we've
more.
seen, he's willing to do anything to get away. That being said, again, sorry if this is reiterating, now in tracking mode, only the chopper from Pasadena Police
Look at
now
that guy.
tracking this motorcycle. Now that being said, that means there's not going to be an officer right behind this guy, but they're going to know where he is. They're still following him. They want to get him, but they don't want to escalate the situation. Bruce, is that a fair assessment that, you know, they don't want those lights and sirens right behind the guy to agitate
Rate this
him?
car chase.
Yeah, Mark, that is 100%.
Rate this car,
true
scale of 1 to
statement,
10.
Because the more you put pressure on this driver, we've already seen what he's doing not being chased. If he now were to see multiple units behind him with lights and siren, that may pressure him into even doing more unsafe maneuvers.
Yeah, and again, I'm watching this.
The commentators
motorcycle
had a
rider
few,
and,
man.
you know,
He's had a
going right
few.
in between cars and just kind of going through the intersections. I'm not quite sure if that was a red light or if it was a green one. But
Hey, you guys
again,
don't think this
I'm
one's that
thinking this,
exciting?
you know, as many of us know this area, I'm thinking this motorcycle rider does not necessarily know this area because they're just driving in such an unusual manner. It
Bonus
looks
car
are they
chase from
about
the
to get
Diddy
onto the
trial.
Freeway, or is this Mark? Is this,
that
it
was
looks like the
the
freeway
on-ramp.
on-ramp to the 210.
Yep, back on the 210 freeway. He got on there at Maple Street, and he's back on the freeway. And again, Bruce, weigh those options for us when it comes to a pursuit, especially with a motorcycle. Would you prefer it being on a freeway versus city streets, surface streets?
You know, personally, as a watch commander, I would feel more comfortable in a pursuit on the freeway because it's basically one direction,
Sure.
multiple lanes, but traffic is pretty stagnant, meaning you're not going to have vehicles turning in front of you or trying to merge.
I know.
So in that case, a freeway would work.
It always jams up right here at Lake Avenue. There's the junction where the 210 continues onto the 210, but it's you know, it's more like an interchange because it goes up north towards La Cañada and La Crescenta. So there's always a jam up right here. So the traffic's slowing down a bit, especially on the 2 to 3 right lanes. And he's staying in those lanes right now. Makes you wonder, is he going to go back onto the 210 further westbound, which would take him up to La Cañada, just passing Lake Avenue right there. If he stays to the left of this coming interchange, it would then transfer on to the 134 westbound, come right back into
Right.
Eagle Rock and Glendale.
Right, and then again, Bruce, I don't know how. I'm sure you probably have a better understanding. I know law enforcement; they certainly can talk through their earpieces and helmets, but I don't. Are a lot of helmets, you know, just normal civilian helmets? Because this person does have a helmet. So if they did steal this motorcycle, maybe the helmet was left on it with the keys. I mean, a lot of people, it's just a crime of opportunity. But this suspect certainly knows how to shift the gears. You can watch him. It's somewhat tricky to know how to ride a motorcycle if you haven't never driven one. It's not quite so easy where you just start up the motorcycle. It's not like a moped, right, Bruce?
No, that's correct, Colleen. I mean, when you steal a car, it's pretty easy. Put on the gas, put on the brake, turn the steering wheel, drive. But a motorcycle is a lot more difficult to do. And what's unique about this motorcycle is there's an additional helmet on the bike, which means we believe there's probably a little more than just a stolen motorcycle in this case.
Yeah. Again, we're trying to effort all those details. As you know, whenever there's a pursuit happening and we're trying to call the law enforcement jurisdiction who's behind it, they're so busy, and then we don't get a lot of updates. But we certainly will update the details as soon as we find out, because it's sort of like a little bit of a drip, like a faucet. There's a drip information. And again, as we find out more, we certainly share it with you.
Getting word here that CHP is now joining the chase here shortly is the latest update we have, and that they are sending their chopper
CHP in the
and
house.
ground units. So initially,
He
we
does
had
sound like he's had a few,
PD,
right?
Their chopper involved in this pursuit, at least in tracking mode. Now, California Highway Patrol, according to our desk, going to be getting involved in this pursuit and maybe re-engaging Bruce with ground units. And that's something that we do see from time to time. It passes jurisdictions. You have different agencies joining in. Is that the case?
Yeah, in this case, you're on the freeway now, and CHP is the primary agency for the freeways. And so if there's a pursuit on the freeway or a pursuit suspect, CHP will engage. They have some different rules of engagement, and we're going to see some units probably behind this guy very, very shortly.
I'm also wondering, Bruce, the CHP just launched a whole new effort to reduce reckless driving on our freeways. And I've been seeing them, these new Dodge Durangos. They're they're not doing one of their Dodges. They're doing one of their true black and white. So
That's
now the
Glendale
suspect
right there.
knows.
That was Glendale.
Yeah, Glendale police
that
is-
was pursuing. Which does make sense because when we came on air,
Right.
La Crescenta is part of Glendale, and so that may have been one of the initial officers. Sorry to jump in there.
Pauline, to your point, there's a lot of controversy about those Durangos. People say, well, it's entrapment. No, the purpose of those vehicles is to catch aggressive drivers in certain cars that are weaving in and out, passing. It's more of a safety thing than anything else.
Yeah, well, the CHP, they get thousands of phone calls a day on reckless drivers. So again, it leads you to believe that they're going to try to do anything they can to keep the roads safe. I drive quite a bit, and I have been seeing those Durangos, and they really are very low profile. You don't realize it's a law enforcement vehicle until you really look at it and you go, oh, that's one of those new CHP. They have quite a few that they're sending out on the road. And again, Mark, you were talking about it, Glendale Police. So it is interesting.
Glendale
Bruce,
Police
I
doesn't
always
fuck
find it
around,
interesting. Some jurisdictions, they don't play well with others, the CHP and, not every police department, they don't have always the best relationship. But through the years, it does seem like everyone has been starting to fall on the same page where they're better as a team. Would you agree?
I think we'll call it the cohesiveness of the unit, of the agencies, has gotten much better. They all have mutual aid where they help each other out. And at the end of the day, the job is for the safety of the public, to reduce crime, to reduce these type of incidents. So yeah, they are playing much better in the sandbox.
Yeah.
Right now on the 134, we talked about his options a while ago. He just passed through the Eagle Rock area. There's been no exit here, kind of between Figueroa and Harvey. There's not really any options to get off the freeway. So right now on the 134 westbound, I believe right there to the right would have been an option to take the 2 freeway on his right. And he is staying here on the 134. This is going to take him right into the heart of Glendale. New information just coming in that the Glendale PD chopper now asking CHP to take over the pursuit. We can tell you may be able to
This
tell
is getting big.
there are no plates on the motorcycle, and an update here for perhaps why they're following this guy. Initial information was potentially that it was stolen.
Mark, this is one of those undercover.
Oh, right there, you're right.
There.
Black SUV. Potentially the want here, was speed and the actions of this motorcyclist. And right to your point, Colleen, that officer, the unmarked black SUV right there to the left of this driver or the motorcyclist. Bruce, what can they do in that point? It seems rare when they get in front of the motorcyclist.
Yeah, very, very rarely will you see that unless they're trying to force him to slow down. But typically, it's not a maneuver that is taught, nor is it a new maneuver that officers will do. They're more inclined to stay behind and follow. And like Colleen was saying, this appears that it is one of those unmarked vehicles, whether it is one of the CHP ones or another agency. We just don't know yet. I don't know if there's 7 HD can fill in.
Oh, there he goes,
Yeah,
there he
that's a tight
goes.
turn. This is Glendale Avenue. He just got off on, and anyone who drives this freeway, they know it is a super tight turn. And I think he was going just a bit too fast that he realized for that exit. Almost lost it. Back on. It looks like almost like the motorcycle stalled there for a moment.
Yeah.
And he is moving again.
By the way, those undercover cop cars or cruisers, they've gotten much more undercover, because you used to see those Crown Vics and they stuck out like a sore thumb. They might not have the black and white, but now I think that cruiser got in front of him because the motorcyclist didn't realize it was a cruiser. But again, now that cruiser is behind him, the unmarked one, and it does up the ante when you start seeing how close a contact they came. Now, Bruce, I'm not sure if you can see this in real time, but this pursuit has now taken on a new urgent feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're back on the city streets, and his speed just picked up, and the vehicles that are chasing him now are staying on this pursuit, and they are closing the distance. So they may know something more about this suspect more than just a possible stolen motorcycle.
Yeah, and again, right there on the curb, glad there's no
Here we go.
pedestrians there, but on the curb, Jackson and Lexington in Glendale. So obviously on surface streets, I want to pull up some video that we have. This is actually from a neighbor of mine who took this video earlier. Yes, this pursuit has gone by my house, and that's when the motorcyclist was zipping right by on surface streets. At least in that shot, you saw police officers were not immediately in tow, but they have since re-engaged a lot closer.
Yeah, and it is so nerve-wracking. Again, we're watching this pursuit, and I'm very nervous for this pursuit suspect, really, because
Who's
they are
nervous?
taking such extreme risks. But that, it shows you, Mark, everyone hears the police choppers overhead. Everyone hears the lights and sirens and sees them. So as people start looking at this, be aware,
Oh,
you
man.
know.
Seniors right there in the
right
middle of the
there.
street.
Almost hit the old people.
About that point regarding seniors crossing and pedestrians, the fact that this is a motorcyclist, Bruce, clearly it's not a big, heavy utility vehicle. We've seen pursuits with vehicles like that can do a lot of damage. This being obviously a smaller vehicle on the road, how do you weigh that as far as the fact that it is a weapon out there, but the risk involved when you have a motorcyclist versus a car?
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at, instead of a couple of 1,000 pounds, you're looking at a couple of 100 pounds for the motorcycle. However, it is still basically a missile. One that's driving at a high rate of speed, that can weave in and out. And so does that maybe cause some additional issues with pedestrians crossing? Yes. And
Here we go,
also
here we
they're
go.
a little more stealthy. They're not going to hear it or see it come up upon them.
Sure.
Yeah,
Here comes
they
the
come up
cops.
so fast. But look right here. You
Oh.
can see that. Boy, that undercover, that unmarked car is really taking some chances as well.
Yeah, they don't want to lose him, but might get pinned right here. That's a situation where the motorcyclist was able to evade a bit more lane splitting between those vehicles that at the red light. Still here in the Glendale area, on the wrong side of the road, again through another intersection. I got to assume this is not far from the Glendale Galleria and the Americana.
Oh, that's coming near me.
Okay, they did just pass.
Yeah, they did just pass it. But again, you know, this is obviously near the ABC7 studios. It is just so highly dangerous. And again, we know that law enforcement, they naturally don't want to give up. But Bruce, at what point do you just say, you know, we're going to
Risk versus reward.
Yeah, we're going to give up on this? Because the suspect, I mean, it just doesn't look good for the suspect when they're driving this fast on these streets.
No
Yeah,
shit.
That's a great question.
Really?
I mean, basically what you have is you're chasing a stolen vehicle.
My turn,
What's
more?
a stolen vehicle? Well, that means you're taking the vehicle without the owner's consent, which is basically a misdemeanor crime, punishable in jail by up to a year and a $10,000 fine. Now, do they get arrested for that? No. They get arrested for grand theft auto in this case, or motorcycle, which is a felony crime. However, it's not prosecutable because they're not permanently depriving the owner of the vehicle.
It's always interesting how the law works, and like you just said, Mark, the risk versus the reward just for the suspect. Again, I don't know exactly.
Once again, if you just
what
got
led
here,
up
we
to this
covered
person, if
the
they are, in
Diddy
fact,
case.
driving a
Now we're
stolen, motorcycle. We
cleansing
don't
ourselves with a car
exactly know.
That
chase.
was the initial information, but again, the newest information.
Well, not a
was
car
that
chase,
it
a bike
was
chase.
Speed and simply
Erratically,
driving
reckless.
erratically, the actions of the motorcyclist. And Bruce was speaking to the point of, a couple 100 pounds, which is perhaps, less dangerous to the public. Still, though, it's like a missile out there. But we have seen these pursuits with motorcyclists, and really badly for the rider specifically.
Yeah.
It really increases the danger for them. If, God forbid, there is any collision, they lose control, this can end very badly for this motorcyclist. So officers certainly in pursuit want to bring this to a successful termination.
Yeah, and Colleen was right on this. If SMHD pulls back, it was one of those brand new CHP undercover vehicles, and I call them undercover only because they don't have a light bar on top, but they do have a light package system throughout the body of the vehicle. And that's more inherently dangerous on a city street too, because people look and they don't see the familiar black and white vehicle.
Sure. And Bruce, can I ask you this question? The options, people may be watching here as we're dipping in to this breaking coverage and wondering, okay, bring this to an end, just stop the guy. Obviously more difficult when you have a motorcyclist. They can't do a pit maneuver. You mentioned not really an option to do spike strips, is that correct? Do they have any options aside from simply following the guy?
They don't. The options are pretty minimal at this point. Could you use a spike strip? Yeah, you could. However, the motorcycle is so agile getting around that, it's difficult to deploy. But in this case, all you really can do is just kind of sit back and watch and wait and hopefully not spur the driver, in this case the suspect, to drive any more erratic and unsafe than they are.
I got to assume it's totally out of policy. Maybe this is a silly question. Totally out of policy to, if given the opportunity to, similar to a pit maneuver, go up and ram the guy, bump him over.
Damn, if they bump him, he's going to die, man.
Is it allowed?
You can't do that.
It's not allowed. Two,
Yeah, okay, yeah. Do you think that's allowed? Come on.
Especially if you're sitting in traffic and this is going by you, you're like, well, just run him over. Just move him. Well, unfortunately, we can't do that as much as we'd like.
Yeah.
But,
I like that none of the other drivers on the road are getting involved, because sometimes we see that happen.
Well, a situation like this, likely these drivers don't even have an idea. He's coming up so quick, you can see the rate of speed, the difference.
Yeah, how
But
could you
zooming by
ram a
these
bike?
cars, if you're driving, you got the radio on, you're dealing with other stuff. You don't even see this motorcyclist coming, and then probably after the fact realize, oh, that was a pursuit that just went by.
I know. I would love it if they would just almost go into tracking mode in a weird way, because the responding car that's right behind, and the sort of area, they keep narrowing the distance between. So the driver of that undercover or unmarked vehicle, they are doing an incredible job of staying with this motorcycle rider, weaving in and out of traffic. They've been going on the other side of traffic too. So there's been a lot of risks being taken to pull over this motorcycle rider. And at some point, the community is going to be sort of, in jeopardy as this driver just continues to take such extreme risks.
Yeah, now into the Cypress Park area on San Fernando Road. So he's really covering some distance now. He's now out of Glendale. Of course, he's gone through La Cañada, La Crescenta, Pasadena, Eagle Rock. Kind of certainly getting some miles in, and now Cypress Park getting to get closer, essentially, I think, to the 5 freeway down here. As he really,
He's probably better off
get some distance
on the
in with these
streets
officers,
because
in pursuit.
Bruce, what do you
Mark,
think's going?
I'm sorry, guys. If Air7HC can pull out, I think CHP may have canceled their pursuit, because they were not in the frame of the picture, so they may just realize, you know what, this isn't worth it. We're canceling it. We'll just keep the helicopter over him and try to get him. I'm sorry, Colleen.
You called it though.
It's actually
Bruce.
a great point, Bruce, and we're getting information simultaneously and now hearing that may in fact be the case, but LAPD now add another agency to the mix. The LAPD chopper is now taking over overhead. So we've had Pasadena involved, Glendale, CHP. Now the LAPD is involved in this pursuit that is across multiple jurisdictions, and this guy just not wanting to stop.
This is going to be big.
Yeah, I mean, this suspect has a total wanton disregard for just pulling over and just giving up. Could be maybe in his criminal background that if he were to go to jail, there may be some enhancements. And speaking of the enhancements, a few years ago they put an enhancement on felony pursuits where it was a mandatory 2-year sentence. I don't know if that's still in effect or not, but the drivers are at least looking at that.
Interesting. That's very good to know. You always wonder, what's their motivation to stop or not stop, and whether or not they're aware of those repercussions and penalties for sure. This guy at times weaving in and out of the wrong direction of travel, making a right there North Broadway, Avenue 19 in Lincoln Heights, again blowing through one intersection after another. As we've been on the air now for just about 30 minutes, again breaking in with this pursuit coverage, I think the only time he's really come to a near stop was at an intersection where the cars were blocking. He had to lane split and kind of creep along. Aside from that, he is blowing through every single stop sign, every single intersection that he's come to, Colleen.
Yeah, he has. And again, I think it was that moment where he did do a stop at that intersection. It was when that unmarked police or CHP vehicle, it's in disguise almost, because so many people drive these large, dark SUVs. So I'm thinking at some point, like I said, I've seen them on the streets, and you do not notice that you think, is that a personal car driver that's chauffeuring someone, but again, this person is taking extreme risks. I have not seen that unmarked large SUV following, and now we know that the LAPD airship is now taking over lead to follow this motorcycle, tracking mode, trying to keep the community safe. Again, this motorcyclist must know they are being tracked, because they are not. You would think that once you think, okay, law enforcement has decided to give up, Bruce, it's sort of reasonable to believe that the driver would sort of stop making, risky moves.
You would think that as long as someone's not behind him, not hearing the lights, the siren, because you're not really going to hear the siren, because speed travels backwards, not forward. I mean, sound rather travels, backwards, not forwards. So you're going to see the lights. But in this case, that's not the issue. This guy or this suspect is just driving like a bat out of hell, for lack of a better word.
Yeah, we want to update our viewers right now. North Alameda, this has been now in the downtown area. If Air 7 can pull out just a bit to give us that perspective, this is in downtown Arcadia, and that's the 101 right there, where I believe that's the same freeway where we had some police activity earlier.
Yeah.
We told you about. So now there's multiple things going on in this specific area of downtown. Just to the left, he's going to be going towards, locations like City Hall and the Hall of Justice, right into the heart of downtown.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice,
we watch that. We can also intersection here with crosswalk, people crossing through. We have some video, if you're just tuning in, of this pursuit on the right side of your screen. Going to kind of run through what we have seen so far. The 210 in Pasadena is essentially when we came on the air. So it has been on the freeway at times and on surface streets, blowing through intersections, blowing through crosswalks. So we've been on this for the better part of 30 minutes. So the video on the right is what we have seen so far. The video on the left is live, and Colleen and Bruce Thomas on the phone with us. At least.
Thank you, Jalissa. Don't get into a car chase, please.
We haven't, and we haven't. We've only seen for one moment. As you're looking on the right side, you're
Superman,
watching video
get him.
from this pursuit.
Meanwhile,
on the
at the
left
Hall
side,
of
you're
Justice,
looking at live images. But we've only seen one true moment where this pursuit suspect got a little squirrely on the bike. They are handling this bike with expertise. It looks like Bruce Thomas, our law enforcement expert, always joining us on these pursuits. We really, your advice and your information invaluable. But again, you don't have a crystal ball. We don't know when this pursuit suspect's going to give up, but they keep sort of staying very close to Los Angeles.
The government buildings are. We're very close to City Hall, police headquarters, and things like that. So we're going to keep an eye on it. And again, you said it earlier, Sandra. He's basically just making loops out here. We're making big giant figure eights on these streets.
Nice. Folks, don't forget to hit that like button. We're only at 80. We should be at 100. Let's go.
He could. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like, it looks like he's making some decisions here. It looks like we actually pulled into an apartment
Oh,
building.
he's in an apartment now.
Going to be, what is the name of this? This is the one that caught fire a while ago.
Oh, no.
Picasso. Is it Picasso? I think it's the Picasso.
You tell me, sir.
And just made a turn. Yeah, he made a turn into that parking garage. So I'm going to stay a little bit wider, not for problems of him being injured, but to see if I see anybody running through the courtyard areas or acting unusual. That motorcycle actually had a helmet attached to it on the side, so I'm wondering maybe they was just like we were talking about, just convenient that he was able to, and how did he get into that parking garage? I've ridden my bike past here many a times, and I know that these are, electric
Oh, he
gates,
rides a
so
bike.
maybe it was just an opportunity. He saw it, opening, so he went ahead and jumped in there. But law enforcement definitely knows. LAPD is talking about it right now. They actually have some units nearby. I'm not sure what they're discussing over here, because I know for a fact that he wound up, he went into this building. But at any rate, we're going to keep an eye on it and and see what law enforcement's going to do.
Yep, 35 likes only, man. People can't like. They can't be bothered to like a video, I guess. No, he went into the apartment. Now they're gonna have to evacuate the entire apartment.
Yes, very big. And if this person lives there and they know where they're going, or basically just put the bus there and then made their way over to an apartment, there might be an opportunity to review some sort of surveillance tapes. But who knows? I mean, that could be days from now, and also how much effort is law enforcement going to put into this if they recover the motorcycle, and maybe they're just going to say, okay, we're going to wait for whoever to come and claim it. And if not, then it's their loss. But right now we do see law enforcement, but we haven't seen anybody making an effort to go into the building. So possibly
that's going to be dangerous.
They're getting the message that to the ground, to the units on the ground, it's not worth the chase. This person basically is now probably off the bike, and this has come to the public. The safety of the public is now safe. So maybe that's what's going on.
The safety of the
But
public
as far
is
as
now
LAPD,
safe.
they are nearby, but I've yet to actually see any of them make an effort to get inside that building.
The safety of the public is now safe. What about the public in the building?
AG Pam Bondi making it clear she admitted to.
So maybe we'll raid to Popcorn Planet.
Good call, Christian. Good call.
What was
Good
the call,
call,
Christian?
Good call. That we're clear from this right now. No, thank you. Sandra was awesome too. And now that we're probably, if we're still on the net, I think those guys were literally just grabbing food. They were over there by that food truck. It's usually a pizza truck. What? I don't know if we're still on some other station.
These conversations are great.
Everybody's kind of off of it. Let me find out what we're going to do. Hey, Skybox Simon Test, what are we going to do? Oh.
All right,
is
this from
saying that
earlier.
it's had no license plates on it, and that's the reason why they tried to pull it over originally. Hearing that there is one black and white nearby, I don't want to lose that motorcycle, but you can see one of them right there. That is the Glendale unit. So that, you know what, honestly, that law enforcement may just be driving back to their location. They might have been told, don't chase this guy, just come back to Glendale, and that might be what's happening right now.
That's from earlier, and then this is from later. They gave
So
up.
that,
That's it. They gave up.
let me find out what we're going to do.
All right, folks, we're going to be
Hey,
raiding
Starbucks, Simon
into
Test, what are
Popcorn
we-
Planet. We're going to be raiding into Popcorn Planet. Head over there and troll them. Tell them Hooker. Tell them Lewis
Now, this
says
is important.
Hooker heels, okay? When you raid to Popcorn Planet. Talk to y'all later. Hooker heels.